I'm Aslamullah and I am a registered attorney, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to get sole custody of your child by proving the other parent is actually unfit for custody. In terms of our law, children's rights are protected in terms of our constitution. Specifically, it's section 28. And what does section 28 say? Section 28 states that every child has a right to be protected from neglect and abuse. One of the ways that you can prove that the other parent is not fit for sole custody is if you can show that the other parent has some kind of an addiction problem. This can be alcohol, drugs, gambling, anything which in essence does not create a stable environment for a child. The key aspect, however, is to try and get evidence of this addiction problem. So think about being admitted into a rehab facility or evidence of use in the past, whether that's pictures, WhatsApp messages, videos, anything that you can prove that the other parent actually has an addiction problem. If the other parent is going to deny having an addiction problem, which they will often do because they also want sole custody, then it is well within your right to ask them to produce a drug test result if they have had a history of taking drugs. Now remember, this does not only extend to illegal drugs, it can also be prescription medication. If you know that your ex-partner has been abusing prescription medication without the knowledge of his doctor or illegally taking this medication, then you can bring this to the attention of the court as well. Now, as I've indicated earlier, the reason why this is important is because a child deserves to grow up in a stable environment, and a parent who has an addiction problem cannot realistically create that stable environment. Therefore, if that parent does have a problem, an addiction problem, they must first address that problem before the court can trust them with sole custody. So that is one of the ways of proving that the other party or the other parent is actually unfit for sole custody. The first way, as I said, is an addiction problem. The second way to prove that a parent is actually unfit for sole custody is if that parent is neglectful of the child. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you can prove to the court that the other parent does not take care of the needs of the child is not fed on time, the child is always crying, the child does not take adequate baths and is not clean, and the clothes are always dirty, meaning the child's well-being is neglected. And if you can produce proof of that, then you can also be able to show the court that this other parent is not a fit parent for having sole custody of the child. That was the second way. In terms of the third way, a third option for you to prove that the other parent is actually not worthy enough of sole custody is if you can show that parent to be abusive of the child. I'm not only talking about physically abusive, mentally, emotionally abusive. Ideally, if you can also produce proof. The critical aspect is to come up with proof. Without proof, it's just your word against the other party's word. So think about any kind of videos, images, screenshots, WhatsApp messages, evidence from other eyewitnesses to show abuse of the child. Bruises on the child is a key indicator. These are some of the common ways: addiction problem, neglect, and abuse of the child. Ultimately, however, it is a judge who will make a decision on custody. When you go to court, it is only the judge who will decide. And what the judge will look at is what is in the best interest of the child. That is the critical aspect in our law. What is in the best interest of the child? The judge will consider a whole bunch of factors and then come to a decision regarding custody. To recap, there are three ways for you to prove that the other parent is unfit for sole custody. Number one is if you can show that the other parent has an addiction problem. Number two is if you can show that the other parent is actually neglectful of the child. And number three is if you can show that the other parent actually abuses the child. Even if you show those things, a judge can still decide otherwise, because what the judge looks at as what is in the best interest of the child. If you need help in your particular situation with regard to custody or the divorce process, you're more than welcome to click the link below and book an appointment with our office. I wish you all the best and good luck.